beautiful Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you guys are so very welcome indeed. Today's episode is about Ashanti. Some of you, well, a lot of you sent me a lot of messages in my Instagram DM. And it was about Ashanti and how she had kind of gone viral, or a guy had said something about her that went viral. And you said, Fumi, what do you think? Before we get into it, I feel like this outfit is very apropos. I was doing a photo shoot, but when I read all of these messages, I said, Fumi, you know what? Don't change. Stay like this. So this, my darlings, is by Ivy Ekong Fashion. She was one of the sponsors for our meet and greet. Yes, my darlings, I love the fashion house so very much. I have a discount code for you guys. It is Fumi to get 10% off. Let me stand up for you. Are we living or are we loving? This, my darlings, will do the job. And you know I love a good catsuit. So I thought it was very apropos. So what did the guy say? The guy said that Ashanti being 42, not married, or having a baby is not a flex. And it went viral. Let me say this. The way I feel, I truly believe that it did go viral. Not because of what he said, but because that's how a lot of people think. That's how a lot of people think. That if you are a certain age, then you are over the hill. You're not marriageable. It's kind of sort of over for you. So you're going to end up being alone. I'm going to say this. It's an insult to Ashanti because Ashanti has had a fabulous and successful career. I am sure that she has by far achieved in life more than what this guy had to say about her. That is one. Secondly, it is the biggest flex to date. In this day and age, it is the biggest flex to date. But before I delve into that, I am going to give you girls a little advice. Freeze your eggs. It is what I did. When a female is born, a baby girl is born, she is born with all of the fertility eggs that she has. I truly believe in the 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe even 90s, parents did not necessarily have conversations with their daughters to say that we do have a biological clock. And in that window of opportunity, from let us say 20 to 40 plus max, that is when you are able to have a baby. After that, it gets extremely difficult or not at all. So for those girls that want to have children, but they have not met their partner, go ahead and freeze your eggs because it buys you time where you are not ready, you haven't met the guy, you are busy with your career. It gives you the opportunity to stall on time while you do what you've got to do for whatever reason. Also, cancer patients, when they're going through chemo, their eggs are retrieved and frozen until they finish chemo and they can go ahead and have their children. Sometimes there are fertility issues, like myself, who suffers from fibroids.
So on the NHS, after freezing your eggs, you can freeze it. They freeze it for up to a year, and that's included in the cost. Anything after that is £350 per year, and you can only have the treatment if you are under 40 years old. The NHS doesn't support you if you are above 40. You'd have to go private for that, but I did go through the NHS initially through my gynecologist, because as you know, I have endometriosis, so this is something that I've been speaking about since I was 30 actually, and obviously now I may need another surgery. This was something that I wanted to do, so I still had to pay through the NHS, but through the private division, if you know what I mean. So it works out slightly cheaper than if I was to go privately, because it includes your x-rays, your scans, your blood tests, everything is included. The only thing that wasn't included was my medication, so I did have to pay for that on top. Also, I'm praying I wouldn't need a surrogate and I can actually have children on my own, whether it be through naturally or through IVF treatment with my frozen babies. If God forbid it doesn't happen, then surrogacy would be something I'd have to explore in the future. Yeah, I literally just asked. As I said, I've been asking forever, but I think they just took me more seriously when they said, okay, we've done loads of consultations. I go every 3 months for a scan to check the growth of the endo, blah blah blah. And there's a lot of scar tissue on the left hand side, so there was only eggs that they could see on the right hand side. So I think because I kept speaking about it and kept following up, they were eventually able to give me an appointment, a consultation, and then we had several appointments just to make sure I understood exactly what I was doing, and this was something that I wanted to do alone, and if this was something that I was able to pay for as well. So they are very thorough in just making sure you understand, and this is something that you still want to do before I was able to do it. So the number as well as the quality of the eggs decreases with age. So that's why it's advised that you do the treatment between 30 to 35, or even late 20s, they say. But the rough age is between 30 to 35 when people are planning if you're not ready to start a family yet. So the hormones that they inject are fertility drugs that stimulate your ovulation and help your ovaries mature several eggs at one time. So I think I had 13 when I started. By the time I finished, I had 27, and they successfully froze 20. So obviously when you're ready to try, the eggs are thawed and combined with the sperm. Any embryos that develop are then transferred into the uterus. But the second part, I'm not paying for that. My future child's. Let's get into the cost. So many questions about this, so sorry about the delay. I had to be on set so early this morning. They picked me up at 5 a.m. Can you imagine? So yes, so the cost, it cost me, as I said, I did it privately but through the NHS. It cost me £3,100, and that was to stimulate my eggs, all the pre-op consultation, the tests, everything included, including the storage for 1 year, storing my eggs for 1 year. They invoice you every year thereafter, and it's £350 to continue freezing your eggs. The NHS store it for up to 10 years, and you have to pay for your hormone treatment in addition to the cost. So it cost me an additional £780 or something like that, because the delivery is like £25 or some craziness like that. So in total it cost me. Is it me, or does my foundation look a bit grey today? I don't know. Anyway, I think you mean about the injection, if that hurts. I'm a bit squeamish, so I was a bit like, oh, I'm doing it on my own. But after day, it feels like a scratch. After day about 3, I was, being a bit more, I was like, I can do this, and I was fine. You can definitely feel the injection going in, because the one in the evening you have to keep it in the fridge, so you could feel it going into your system. Such a weird feeling. So yeah, you have to do it the same time every evening. My time was midnight because I'm a night owl, and I knew that I'll be home. Normally I'm home by midnight, so for me that just made more sense than me setting the time for 8 o'clock and having to run into a bathroom randomly somewhere, like if I'm going out for dinner with my friends or something. So I set a realistic time for myself. After day 5 they give you the go ahead to take the morning injection, again same time every morning for 5. Yeah, so you take the second injection for another 5 days, and then you take the booster injection, and which is 36 hours before your operation. And then you have 24 hours where you don't take anything. And literally, I'm not even joking, that 36 hours was excruciating. I had a wedding to go to. I felt like a pregnant woman. Like, when I needed to pee and run to the toilet because I was going to wet myself. Like, it was so uncomfortable. My stomach exploded. Like, it's just, oh my gosh, I did not like the feeling at all. But they told me as soon as I literally, I think the day of my surgery, I was like waddling like I was pregnant. It was so weird. But she was like, bless you. She was like, once we remove it, you should feel less discomfort. Obviously, it will be a bit sore because of the procedure. But yeah, it was just more uncomfortable and just a bit sore after the procedure. You have to wait in the hospital until you can pee naturally before they let you go. Oh, babe, I'm not gonna lie, I did definitely have mixed feelings. But I knew it was something I definitely had to do for me, especially now. But I did think about it for a while. I did my research. I asked friends. I asked people who had been through the process as well for advice and guidance. So I really did think about it and explore my options. And as I said, you have several consultations with your gynecologist beforehand to make sure you're making the right decision for you, and you just completely understand what you're doing. So I think it doesn't hurt to ask. It doesn't hurt, especially through the NHS. It's free, so definitely push for your GP to have to get a referral to the gynecologist, and you can definitely have that conversation and go from there. I don't know. It took me a minute to heal the first time round. They said it takes about 5 to 10 days or something. After 2 weeks, I was still in pain. I could not walk to the post office, which was a 10-minute walk, and had to call an Uber home in floods of tears. I would say it took about a year and a half for my body to just kind of settle. So many things going wrong. I was just in pain. I didn't really work. I nearly quit acting. I felt like I was depressed. It was very traumatic. I didn't really enjoy that experience at all, hence why it's something I really don't want to do unless I really need to do it. But if I do choose to do that, because my quality of life is more important, that is something I definitely would have to do privately, because there's 2 different types of procedures.
Freeze your eggs and you are able to treat whatever issues you might have. Because you see, when society says you're getting older, what they're saying is that your eggs are getting older. Get married now, have your children now. But medicine has advanced and now you have options. That's why I said Ashanti has the biggest flex. Because Ashanti, I'm sure, is covered and ready. Whenever she meets that guy, whenever she's ready to settle down, she will retrieve her eggs, Why are we freezing our eggs? Because I hadn't met Ula. I didn't know who he would be. My advice to you girls, this is your cyber mom. The second you hit 21, instead of graduating and let daddy buy you a big, beautiful, expensive car, go to your gynecologist. Freeze your eggs. Freeze them. They're young. They're fresh. Freeze them. And go on ahead with your life and your business, because you don't know what the life has in front of you. And there are so many roads down to this interesting experience called life. Once you've done that, once you've frozen your eggs, it is a life insurance for your kids. Now, hold on 1 minute. Freeze as many as you can, because once they thaw, some eggs will break. That's why they want you to freeze as many clusters, so that when they thaw and you're ready to have them with your partner, or by choice a sperm donor, because I have friends that used a sperm donor. She's got beautiful twins. I have friends like myself. Just before the garage shut down, we met our partners. And so we proceeded to go on and do IVF. There are options out there. I also have friends who are married and have chosen not to have children. And we have to respect everybody's choice. I cannot put my opinion on anybody, and nobody should put their opinion on anybody else. But this guy thought, oh, you know what? It doesn't matter, Ashanti, how many records you've sold, how many number ones. You are not married, you don't have children. That is not a flex. And yet you have so many mothers that are single, not by choice. Because I tell you this, and this is just facts. I could not be the mother I am to Adrian. No way. In my 20s, in my 30s, no way. I didn't have the wherewithal. As women, it's really unfortunate because men don't have that biological clock. They can have children in their 70s. We have that window of opportunity, and after that, we have to struggle. Challenges, finances, all of that will aid in you getting a child. On top of which, the girl that I was in my 20s is not the woman I was in my 30s, for sure not the woman in my 40s, and absolutely not the fabulous woman I am now in my 50s. I'm 54, and I am so in tune with the person that I am. And I got to marry my best friend. I've said it before and I'll say it again, and it's not a flex, and it's not to highlight their demise in any way. But all my friends that I went to university with, that got married, are all divorced. And they're single mothers, and they're struggling with very hostile co-parenting. Because you married the wrong guy. And it's not necessarily that he's a bad guy. It's just that perhaps we as women evolved. What we wanted then is not what we want and need now. And so when I do look back upon all of my struggles, upon all the waiting, I really realized that because, Fumi, you were not prepared mentally, emotionally. You have to sacrifice. You have to be selfless. You have to be patient. You are raising a whole human being, all human beings. And when I tell you there's no book that's going to prepare you for motherhood, for parenthood, the dynamics between your husband and yourself will change, because you have these children that now come first. And you're not going to sleep all the way at night. And you are going to struggle. You are to get their schools. They're going to be funny about, different types of eating habits. And they're going to, some might have colic. They might have all kinds. You are not going to be prepared. But you see, the love, the respect, the understanding, the financial stability, honestly, and you having a career, and you having lived, it sets the precedent for you to be prepared for motherhood and all of its interesting, unexpected surprises. It is a flex. I'm going to really flip this. It is a flex to be not married at 40 because you didn't settle. It is a flex to be at 40, to be 40 and you prepared everything in preparation for the next step. A young, beautiful daughter of mine, she must have been, 38? And she was like, oh, Fumi, when will I get married? When will I get married? And I said, forget about when will you. Be in preparation. Make sure that you've cleared all of your debts. Make sure that you're earning a certain decent amount that you can contribute to the family. Make sure that you are prepared, because guess what? Once the opportunity passes by preparation, people call it luck. It's not. It's not that you are lucky. It's that you did the work. It's that you go out to the places where you will most probably meet the guy that you want to have children with. I say that he has to be your friend, because you see that honeymoon stage where you guys are having lots of cookies every night. You're on top, back, this, in the bathroom, in the bed. You're not going to have as much when you have children. You will have to get along, because guess what? You're going to have to talk about bills. You're going to have to share the responsibilities in this house. And you have to be able to get along with each other and know that your child comes first across the board, and there's no resentment, hostility. You can't want to be good jumping out and dropping it like it's hot in the clubs. Absolutely not. Ashanti is living her best life. Travel the world. Ula and I did it. We went to Thailand, to Dubai, to Moscow, to Denmark, to Switzerland, Nigeria. Where did we not go? We traveled. And I lived and I loved, and I still do it. But the thing was, when Adrian came, it was a new chapter that I was so mentally, emotionally prepared to embrace. Dot all of your I's, cross all of your T's. Take care of yourself. Love on yourself. Take time out even as a mom. See your friends. Go to the spa. But the thing is that the life that you had before is gone. It is what? It's gone. You will never have that life again. It's gone. You're a mother, and you'll be a mother till you enter your grave. It is a huge blessing. I am bigger and better than I have ever been, ever, because of Adrian, because of Ula, because it pushes you, because it drives you to be the very best version of you. It pushes you to be that. So I want you to take your time when you think about motherhood, when you think about marriage, because you want it to last. You want the stability for your children. You want it for you. Ula and I have been married going 15 years. And to be honest, I don't, I love it. I love it. There's nothing I want out there in the streets apart from fashion, makeup, beauty, a couple of diamonds. But I was very conscious of it. I was very conscious of it. I knew what I wanted, and I made preparations for it. And then I detoxed, and I really got myself emotionally, spiritually together, and I took care of my past demons and my triggers, because I did not want to bring those into the marriage, because then that becomes another issue and a bag that Ula has to carry that is unfair to him. You have to know that when you get married, it's not going to be always about you. It's not always going to be 50%. Sometimes I'm 70% doing the work. Sometimes Ula is 80% doing the work. We understand our roles. And sometimes Ula is a father to me as I'm a mother to him. Sometimes we're brother and sister. We are always husband and wife. We are always friends because we make sure that the home is warm and wonderful and encased with happiness for Adrian, so that Adrian can evolve and have all of these beautiful experiences, confidence. He's not insecure about anything. It is so important. So when you talk about, oh, you're 42, you're not married, you don't have children, it's not a flex. It's the biggest flex in 2023. How about those apples? Because that woman is coming with a steam engine into that relationship, and she is giving us fabulosity. She's given us experience. She's given us education. She's given us the career that she's lived. She's financially stable, and she has the patience, the love, the understanding to take care of children. Remember, she might have just been an auntie, so she knows how this goes down. Ask some of the girls that married in the 20s and 30s. They will guarantee, tell you, I wish I had done it differently. Ladies in your 40s, hello, salute. I got married at 40. I will always say it. I met Ula when I was 39. I got married at 40. I started YouTube 45, 46. I can't remember. I got pregnant at 48. I had Adrian at 49. Adrian's going to be 5 in October. He's starting school this year. I'm 54. And the irony of it all, nobody asks me more than anything, how is Adrian? How is Ula? That's the irony of it all. For those of you that feel that, oh my God, people are, section me out here, there. The irony of it all is that when you're married and you have your children, nobody cares anymore. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Instead, put the pressure on preparation. Prepare yourself for this chapter in your life and make sure that is absolutely done with the right partner. All right, my darlings, I love you so very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and I will see you guys sooner than later. Like I said, this fabulous catsuit is by Ivy Ekong Fashion, and these are my Kendall Miles heels, which I absolutely love as well. Can you see? And they're kind of like the same color, so I said why not. On top of which, I know a lot of you will be saying, for me, you're looking good, you've lost weight. We are going to be having exercises with Educan. Remember Educan, I brought her on one of the Shankwela episodes. She's the one that is whipping me into shape, and I can see myself really feeling and looking much better. The back fat is going, and I'm very happy about that as well. It really is diet and lifting weights. She was saying, Fumi, once you're in your 50s, you've got to lift the weights and you've got to tone up. And that is what's happening. I'm losing the inches and I'm living for it. All of my love, my darlings, okay? And Ashanti, you go ahead, mama. I live for you. I love you. I celebrate you. Enjoy your best life. And for you guys out there, don't listen to the noise. I am a walking, living, breathing example of doing it my way, which was very much not the norm. And when I tell you I'm leading the pack, it's crazy. I had to go through all of this to realize that it is not true. And I'm here to tell you, it is not true. It is not true. Get married to the man that you love. And if he does not love and respect you, and he's not at the standards that you expect, don't do it. Because you're settling, and those issues don't go away. They just magnify in the marriage. And you're heading towards what? Divorce court. Don't do it. All of my loves, baby. I gotta go.